Alright, so let's make a simple, catchy drop hook kind of melody for an EDM track, for a festival track. And in this case, usually minor scales are preferred. They sound a bit more dramatic, or they simply suit that style a bit better. And because we are looking to write a festival type hook melody, the best recipe would be using a pentatonic. I have the A minor scale drawn in here, but we are also going to leave our A minor and we're going down to F minor with F as root note, because this is the key or the frequency where your sub bass sound will be working especially well on festival sound systems. F minor is often used because F just works very well on these systems. So we're taking our A minor scale. We said we want to turn it into a pentatonic scale. So we are already getting rid of 2 notes right now. We are taking out B and we are also going to take out F. So we are removing the 2nd and the 6th scale degrees, leaving us with the A minor pentatonic. And now we are transposing everything down to F minor in order to get working with our melody. And I'm making a copy on top. So we always have our available notes for our melodic pattern easy to find here on the left-hand side. So we're going to get started writing our melody here, and we're first starting with our rhythmical pattern for the melody, and we're going to do that by just playing one note, our root note, because when we're writing this festival hook melody, the rhythm is almost more important than the actual notes of the melody, because that's going to drive your track, that's going to drive your drop. Nowadays, you also have a lot of tracks in this style that actually just play one note, and it's all about the sound and the rhythm of the note in the drop. Anyways, let's get started. We're playing our kick alongside, and I'm going to get started here. Just going to come up with a rhythmical pattern, playing the first 2 notes here. And then going to repeat this one here. So copying everything. And actually, let's just take the whole pattern and copy it into our part B here. So we have repetition. And let's take a look how we can add in variation, maybe somewhere here. And usually, or at least in 2012 till 2015, you would delete those 2 notes here and put in a fat snare. But we're going to vary here. So let's try to find some other notes to play with. So F is our root note, our tonic, the 1st degree in our scale. And we are probably going to move up with these here. So this is the 3rd, that's the 5th, that's the 4th, and that's the 5th. So let's go to the 5th. Maybe go down. Okay, and we could try to go down with this one here. And up with this one. Maybe one higher. but I kinda play this one here. And let's bring these ones up, complete octave. So those two up here, and then we are going back down somehow. Let's go down to our fifth, which is C. Just go back down to that root. We'll just go from this root up to this root and back down to this root. So. And let's just repeat what happens here, right here. So I'm just going to copy this, put it here, get rid of these down here. It's exactly the same pattern. And bring these ones up as well. And go back down with these ones. I'm copying this pattern here. And taking it instead of that one. So right now it's the same pattern. You could like make some changes here. For example, play this note, so we have something different going on. So the only difference would be the last note right now, but let's add in a little bit of rhythmical variation here at this point and actually shorten this note. And put this one into this position, see what it sounds like. So quite surprising here. Maybe we should play something different with this note. Let's actually play our bass alongside with this melody, and we're just going to play an offbeat on our root note F and play everything again. Right now we were playing around in an F pentatonic minor scale because we just made use of those 5 notes here. And then we're repeating up here. So pentatonic, and we made our basic melody. Alright, we're going to add a little bit of an edge to it right here. So let me quickly change something with that note and go leaving the scale. I'm moving this one up by 1 semitone. And now we're going to listen back in who. We're off the pentatonic scale. Let's listen in. Sounds quite interesting. Let's listen again. One semitone up here off scale, and I'm also going to do something with this last note. I'm actually going to put it in the same note, an octave lower. Let's listen back. So now we added a very interesting twist to this very simple pentatonic melody here. And what happened, because it sounds quite suitable to this melody. So what happened is we switched from our F pentatonic minor scale into a mode, an F Phrygian. And that one sounds a bit more gypsy, but suits this style very well. Let's listen back. So how do we get our standard Phrygian scale into this view here? By applying what we learned in the modes chapter. Now let's start from E, because if we're in C major, Phrygian starts with E, and then we are only using the white notes. So E and so on, and going up until I'm ending up at E again. So this would be a Phrygian pattern, in this case E Phrygian. And we are bringing it down to F right now. Place it right next to our F pentatonic scale here. And we see it starts with a semitone here, and then it's fairly close to what we have. Actually, it doesn't really change so much from our F minor scale, but the difference is lying here. In the F minor scale, our first step is a whole step, and followed by a half step. And in the Phrygian scale, we first have a half step, and then we are following up with a whole step. Now, since we were playing only pentatonic notes from the F minor here, and then introduced this note, which is part of our Phrygian scale, it's perfectly defined as Phrygian. And Phrygian is what adds this gypsy type of style to this melody and makes it sound so interesting and well suiting to this festival type of bouncy genre here. Since the introduction of these two notes here, we switched from our pentatonic into the Phrygian mode, and now we are actually allowed to play notes like this one and this one again with our melody without making it sound weird or strange. So why not try out this note here, since it seems to be allowed again? I'm just going to put these up semitone and play the pattern again. Well, maybe not like this, but maybe with the first one. Can switch these two, might sound a bit better then. Sounds very cool and interesting that way. And it also helps that the general structure of our melody is so grounded in our root note, so in F and F up here. That makes it a lot easier to switch between the pentatonic of F minor into the F Phrygian, because that is the root note for both of them. Now imagine we would have been doing that with a different note here, would have probably not been as easy to switch over. And this goes back to the fact that in order for a mode to work well, our melody has to have the tonic note as the tonal center of the melody, instead of the third or the fifth or some other note.